Alright, this documents a screen that I planted by the road here. In order to plant some food plots close to the road, I screened the front yard here, which has a driveway here, an abandoned house that sits way off the road, several apple trees, pear trees down the sides of the driveway here. And what my intentions are is to be able to come in here and park out here by the road and walk back to where a stand site is, and when I come out in the evening, possibly deer could be in these front food plots on the other side of this screen, and I might be able to get by them without spooking them out of there too bad. Also, just a trial, this is Sorghum BMR, Sorghum Sudan BMR, which is brown mid-rib, and it, as you can see, it grows very tall. This is actually some of the shorter stuff. I'm going to measure some of the longer stuff down here in a minute to give you an idea of how tall this can get. And this was a drought year. This was planted in June, and it went through the drought and turned out pretty good. I'm not sure how much better it would have been if we would have had a little more rain this summer or not, but I'm very happy with it considering the drought that we had. There are two plots here, and I'll be showing those to you from the inside here in a moment. This is the first plot closest to the road, which is right here. This is a turnip plot, which probably won't get a lot of use until wintertime, probably January, February, start to see some use. It's right up by the road. The sorghum that I planted up here by the road got full sun all day long with no shade, so it dried out quicker. The stuff toward the back here, we'll see in a minute, got shade from the big oak trees, and it grew a lot more, probably because the moisture content was better in the soil through the drought period. So this did okay. It's probably only 5 feet, maybe 6-7 feet in spots, but would have been better, I think, had we gotten some rain. Groundhog forage radish, planted about 3 weeks ago. Turnips, purple top turnips, and rapeseed is all that's in this front plot. Okay, where I'm standing now is a divider right here of the sorghum between this front plot out by the road and another plot right behind it that's not planted yet. I just sprayed these remaining weeds with some Roundup. This is also surrounded by the sorghum. There's some brush down here, some more sorghum on this side. And this will be winter rye, groundhog forage radish, winter pea mixture, and there might be a couple other things, but that's going to be the bulk of what this plot will be. Out there in the middle I left a little island of trees. It's got crab apples, the sweet crab apples, planted in that earlier this spring. Okay, here is another view looking back east. If you remember where the three-wheeler was in the last part of the video there, you can see where I'm standing now. I was standing over in that area. So there's that sorghum wall out there blocking the front food plot from this one. You see the same crabapple trees. Now this wall of sorghum over here got very tall, and I'll walk up to it. I'm about 5'10", so as I get closer you're going to see how tall this stuff got, and like I said, I'll measure it here in a little while. But some of that stuff is way over my head. I'm going to say 3 or 4 feet over my head on spots, and it definitely made the wall I was hoping it would make from the driveway to shield my walking on the other side. I left this other side of the food plot, which I'm anticipating the deer will come from the wooded area back there. I left this all brushy and natural along that edge so that they can move through the goldenrods and the new young trees, and offer them some security as they come up in here. There's a house right there, but I don't think this is going to be more of an evening spot. I don't think that'll bother the deer at all. I just put a tape measure on this stuff. Some of these plants are over 10 feet on the tops. Now obviously way up at the top you don't have near the cover you do down here, but in a drought year 10 feet of growth I would say is pretty doggone good. Now this was planted in June. I tried to get it in the ground as early as I could so that it had a long growing season so it would get the height if you waited till late June, July, you're probably planting it too late. You're not going to get the height that you're going to want by the time fall gets here. So we'll see how this stands up too. We'll look at it during the winter time, maybe after some storms and stuff, and we'll see how it stands up. But my goal and hope is that it at least stands up through November, maybe into December, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'm going to take a walk back to my next plot that I'll be planting here. There's the three-wheeler. There's some more crab apples, a couple big red oaks there. Here's the wooded area where the deer will be coming from. And I'm going to have you follow me back along here into a small narrow plot that I have that goes along a creek that will be connecting these other plots back to where I'll actually have a stand hunting the deer on their way to these front plots in the evening is my what I plan on here. Here's a small plot. This isn't planted yet. I just sprayed a Roundup for the third time this year. It's been disked with the 48N tractor. And there's a creek that starts right here in the brush and goes along the side here. There's a hill up here to the left and then a wooded area back in there. And this will all be planted in rye and clover. I have some leftover whitetail clover I'll be planting with just regular winter rye. And this is more of a shaded area. It stays moist. The dirt is very dark. The rye, since it grows so easy, it's not quite as hungry, I don't think, for sun as some of the other things may be. But we'll see. It's more of an experimental deal. And the reason why I put this in here is so that I can get a stand over in this area here, this tree here. On the other side of this creek, there's a little footbridge. I'll be on the other side of the creek. I'll actually come from behind the abandoned house here, walk down and get into the creek, or get into the stand here. And I have a bedding area built way back in these woods. A lot of hinge-cutted areas and areas that I stay out of and I give to the deer. And what my hope is that I can hunt this without intruding too much into this is only 10 acres, so I don't want to be intrusive. I don't want to constantly be walking by their bedding area. It's a very narrow property. It's 250 feet wide by 1750 deep. So I have to be very careful that I don't burn it out, and I won't hunt it very hard. I'll be very selective. But this is where it starts right here, and you can see the creek here in the distance as it goes away from us down through there. And I will stay out of those areas, and hopefully a deer will come up through this thick stuff. Some trees to scrape under, rub on, and then hopefully they come out here. A stand will be there, and they can follow along this plot toward those front plots toward evening. There probably won't be in those plots too much of daylight, but probably, hopefully, they'll be right here as they wait till it gets darker to move out toward the road more. So that's my intentions. This is a brand new area that I developed on this property. I do have food plots way to the back of the property. A lot of hinge cutting, some stands, permanent wooden stands back there, but this is a new area that I just worked on just this year. So we'll see how it goes. Keep you updated. Show you more videos and pictures later.